I'm actually sitting here on my phone, talking with people, trying to figure out what damn front end and grill I have on this stupid truck, because I got a broken marker light and I want to replace it. Starting to realize that my title doesn't necessarily match the year that this is, or front end, but a lot of the truck doesn't match the rest of it, so yeah. Ramble. Today's video we're going to be doing a bunch of little stuff. We have some stuff outside to set up shop, and we have a tiny little fab project on blue. So let's just jump right into it. Live action, here we go. Alright, coming out into the carport. Obviously, average Joe builds. It's a one car garage in this tiny, really old carport from 78, I think. Yeah, it's not really, you know, the best to work in. I have the fab stuff for the powder coating oven. I have all the powder coating stuff down there. Not a lot of space, and I want to try and utilize it a lot better. It's really hard to work out here when it's just freezing, and I have 3 open sides. You know, none of that is nice. And this was all tidy and cleaned all up until last night when I just said screw it. I yanked down all the shelves that were on this wall. You notice some black plastic is up, and that's gonna be what we're doing today. I gotta finish stapling these corners in. I gotta use the remnants that I cut off the bottom to fill in this last little gap. And then we're gonna start taking some corrugated panels. We're gonna run corrugated panels down the whole length of the wall. I've mentioned it a couple times in some previous videos. We're about to have our house resited, so when they reside the house, I've actually told them to stop at the end of this door, because then I'm going to redo all behind the wall back there too. And I think we're gonna actually end up enclosing part of the carport and then possibly extending it and adding a face, so I can have a small little shop back here. I mean, I have 220 hidden on the wall down there. That's what's powering the powder coating oven. I have all the power and lighting I need. I could have a little heater and stuff to keep myself warm, and if it was enclosed, I wouldn't have shitty neighbors to deal with. So yeah, you guys see the plan. A little more opportunity for me to work, make some content. I don't know. I wish I had a giant garage. I wish I had the money to have, you know, a million acres and land and stuff like that. But for now, this is what we got, and this is what we're gonna work with. So yeah, let's get some plastic up, start slamming some panels up, and then talk about this little fab project we're gonna knock out for blue today. Another little short video, nothing major like the last few, but content's content, right? chimes down because I know I was going to be filming and I didn't want to deal with wind chimes. Alright, now, ta-da. I'm digging it. It's going to make, you know, a lot better of a backdrop. It's going to reflect the light. I'm starting to think about sealing off the roof, new lights, maybe drywall or something. Probably not drywall, probably more corrugated panels, but and now it's all dark. But yeah, I like that as a backdrop way better. I have enough for all of this. I don't know what do you guys think? I'm really digging it though. I can, you know, if I wanted to, I can do a couple shelves or something like that, but not only did pulling off those old ghetto shelves that I have to break down give me a few more feet, I can now, you know, scoot the trucks over, think about walling off that, and like I said, I really want to extend this out. I'm thinking along this line to this break right here. So that would give me essentially to where this line here. Yep, so you know, I'd be able to walk around the vehicles. Now, walls never hurt. Especially when you're in the Pacific Northwest and it rains and it's cold always. But like I was saying, usually the last 10% is the biggest hurdle because you have so many little odds and ends you have to tie up. In this case being, you know, we did brake lines, we had to do steering, we had the panhard bar, we got to wire it, intercooler piping, shock or coil over, you know, etc, etc, etc. So one of the last little, you know, little projects, it's not going to be really little, but we got to figure out an intake pipe. We need something that, in my mind, perfect world, what I'm thinking is going to happen is this is going to come up, it's going to curl around the dipstick, it's going to end up back that way somewhere. Well, yeah, that's one, being a perfect world, because I want to use 4-inch and I want it to be stainless. So we got a bunch of 4-inch stainless laying around, and we saw in a bunch of the previous clips I had cut up some pie cuts. I'm actually going to go ahead and throw in all this footage that I have. Of all of the stuff I've done before already, get us up to speed, and now we need to make this happen. So first, we need an air filter. Okay, so we got the pie cuts, we got the straight piece of stainless. I needed to Amazon myself an air filter, which is really fast and awesome. I love how Amazon does that. And I needed a sock for the air filter too, which worked out great. So we're gonna go ahead and pop these open, we'll get these installed, figure out how we're gonna map it out, what it's gonna look like, and hopefully, like I said, in a perfect world, get the shape we want. In reality, we're gonna get the shape we want? No, not at all. We're gonna get some average intake, because it's average too. Thing, get this open, and of course, it's blue. Why not? Sinister Diesel, and I'm an idiot. And of course, Amazon suggests things for you to buy too, so I had to buy the Sinister Diesel blue intake sock that had their signature blue pipple, even though I have healers. I don't know. Enough rambling, let's build an intake. Okay, now that we've gone through, we did the cheesy little haha, getting the intake and stuff like that. I've already cut one piece that I know goes in, bottoms out where I want it to. That's gonna sit great. At least I hope it's gonna sit great. I did pre-measure for the air filter, hoping it was gonna land in that size pocket, and actually this came out fantastic. Obviously it's gonna get supported by the pipe, plenty of space through here, so really the thing is coming off of this, getting the angles I need, and then curling through this little space, so we end up in the filter, which will be rotated and not just sitting. I did tape down a little bit of a spacer out of like styrofoamy stuff, so I know I'm not sitting on any of these. Gives me a little bit of an air gap. If I wanted to, I could scratch up some of this paint and we can make a little tab off the bottom, or off this, or off of any of the locations to hold the intake. Lots of this, lots of this, lots of that. It's gonna go, you know, a million different directions, so that's why we did pie cuts. I'm not looking forward to going through and welding that giant pile of pie cuts on this pipe, but from what I've laid out already, I just kind of got an idea of we should be able to easily make this radius probably just a straight shot through here, and then either pie cuts to 90 that, or I can either fit one of the 90s I have and see if that works, and then it would probably just be another straight piece into that. Instead of talking and guessing, I'm just gonna set up a little bit of time lapse, start Sharpie marking these together. I might try and do, I saw Taylor Ray, he used like a high heat tape and he tapes them all together instead of tacking them. So I don't know, we're gonna do a multitude of things and figure it out. One of the things I did want to mention is Defiant Metal hooked me up with some nice new TIG gloves. I have been using their MIG gloves that they gave me as well, which actually, well, gave me, I paid for these, but the MIG ones are killer. So I'm gonna try out the TIG ones. We got some actual filler rod to use this time instead of 309 always. This time we have some real 308 stainless to try. So I need to go through, hit these all with the stainless brush, acetone them all, which you guys don't care about. We're gonna get some music, some time lapse. I'm gonna drink some Pepsi. We're gonna figure this out. See if we got, you know, a couple hours of daylight left. Let's make an intake. I feel so bad for my camera out in the rain. And okay, so starting off with these Defiant Metal TIG welding gloves. The MIG welding gloves are amazing. The TIG welding gloves are phenomenal. I had Amazon, what are these, Intrafit. They weren't bad. They were not bad. I actually really like them. They're just because they were just on my wrist. These Defiant Metal ones are just out of this world. But so to get myself out of the rain a little bit, peek over there at the intake. So we're starting to get an intake shaped object. Obviously this was the stock one with like a AFE silencer plug shoved into it, and then the MAF, which I still have to pull the MAF out. We need just the sensor. We're not using the housing for this exact reason. So we're going through all this trouble of doing a nice fancy intake. No, I'm dropping my Defiant stickers, but I went ahead and got a PPE stainless steel MAF block. So what this is going to let us do is, well, weld the MAF block to the intake so we can actually have a nice fancy way. So it has an arrow for airflow, so I'm guessing that's going to be the way. I guess I want that in that way, you know, with the air. Let's pop out here. Now that we're getting this guy, it's starting to look the way we want it to. Thinking somewhere like on the side or something like that, because then we could get, so I'll actually have to take the sensor out real quick and make sure I get the orientation right. And I'm thinking one last pie cut off this lands us, and then obviously a little straight section lands us where we want to be. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to dig it. There's going to be hours of welding on this thing, and it does slightly touch this little rib, but I'll either beat that up a little bit or I'll just chop in between two of those ribs and make a nice hole. I don't know, we'll figure that out. I'm gonna pull the MAF out real quick, figure out the orientation, and jump back into some more action. Alright, hanging the torch up from the last tack welds, and we're starting to have something that resembles an intake. I did throw a couple tacks on this guy, and I just have to drill some holes through that, and then obviously bore that out so the sensor fits. Once those tacks are obviously finished welded, which will be hours and hours of welding, it's going to take me forever to get it done, but it'll be done. I'm going to go ahead and get this all mocked up, get the filter on, and see how it looks. Alright, I had to take 50 pictures on my phone beforehand because I'm a dork and an idiot, and Instagram obviously, but yeah, I don't know about you guys. I am extraordinarily happy. I don't think I ever actually needed to cut the stock airbox, which is going to be a pain in the ass. I'm thinking about, they make like a $200 fiberglass replacement that's for deleting the AC, and for temporarily, it's summertime almost, even though, yeah, it is raining. It's Pacific Northwest. It's about spring, summertime, so I don't think I'm gonna need my AC right now. Probably spend the 200 bucks, buy that panel so I have heat for, you know, mornings and stuff, and then when I can afford to spend $1,200 without punching myself in the face, yeah, then I'll buy the actual, you know, Classic Air, Vintage Air kit, make my firewall flat back there, which will be, it'll just clean everything up and make it a lot prettier. But I threw that sock on just to make it, you know, finalized. Obviously this is just tacked together, and I have a whole bunch of welding to do now, but I just wanted to see if it fits, and it does. What do you know? Alright, a bunch of B-roll of welding, I guess, and some music, and I don't know about you guys, this is gonna take forever. I'm on about 120 amps on the pedal, if anybody wanted to know that, and 308 filler. I use a chartreuse green tungsten, and I don't know what to do with my hands, so I'm gonna start welding. See you guys in a little bit. I think it might be done. Alright, so which way is close? This is righty tighty, lefty, this is great. Alright. Actually turn all this off, that's all good. Thing is a little bit toasty, so I'll cool it down with the air in a second, but I don't know. Here, let me flip the camera down so I can see. I don't know about you guys. That's gonna hate reflection and all of that, but yeah. They're not the best welds I've ever done. They're not the worst, so I'm happy. This is one giant concoction. I gotta drill the hole real fast and probably just use the burr bit and clean it up. Get that real fast. I'm tired. I want coffee, but it's like 10:30 at night almost, so yeah, I need to drill this out, clean the burr bit. I need to clean out the hole real fast for the mass airflow sensor, and then install the MAF. Make sure I clean the tube out beforehand. We'll throw the filter on, and it's dark now, so I don't know if we're gonna put that on. Maybe we'll do that in the morning instead of rambling. Let's go ahead and drill this hole, get that mocked up, and see how it looks. Next morning, I've been awake for probably like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, but trying to end this video out. And look at it, we got it. I don't know about you guys, but in the early morning light, this is looking pretty good. Like I said, they weren't the best welds. They're not the worst welds either. So, you know, like if it wants to focus in. But I'm stoked. I love how you cannot see the sensor at all. I'm gonna look back there, and of course the sensor actually had the best welds entirely, which, you know, pain in my butt. Whatever, we got an intake. I'm really digging this Sinister Diesel little sock with the little dog on it, because obviously you hear my dogs barking in the background. I like dogs. Today, gonna be nothing crazy. I'm gonna jump on wifey's truck for the next video, because I did actually get, well, one, got the brakes off so we can get new, possibly new drums, but mainly new wheel cylinders for both sides. I did actually manage to get those bolts drilled out so I can actually attach the bag. Went through Swapped them all to 3/8 fittings. I got to jack the front up, pull the wheels and the bags, swap them to 3/8 fittings, drill all of the holes, put grommets in because they have the airline literally just ran right between metals. Lots of stuff to do, but that's all for our next video. So if you like what you saw today, go ahead and leave me a comment down below, throw me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, please and thank you. But with that, we're out of here. Enjoy your guys' week. It's spring break for the kids, so a little bit of extra time for me to get some more content out. Stay tuned for it. Average Joe Builds, we're out of here.